Chef John Howie from Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar, and today I'm going to show you a very simple recipe. It's a whiskey-glazed salmon. In the Pacific Northwest, we're known for our salmon, from the Chinook salmon to the coho to the sockeye. Today we're working with a beautiful Chinook or king salmon. It's wonderfully red, dark color, very high in omega-3 fatty acids. We're going to start by making a whiskey glaze, and we're going to put a little butter into a sauce pot and let that get going. And we're going to add shallots, and we're going to let those cook down and get just a little bit translucent. And then we're going to add in some brown sugar and of course our whiskey. Today we're going to work with a Maker's Mark bourbon. And so you say, is that a whiskey? Well, yeah, it's an American whiskey. Bourbon has to come from Kentucky, but this is a beautiful bourbon, adds a lovely sweetness to the dish too. One of our favorites. All right, so we add that to the butter and the shallots, just soften it up a little bit. We're going to add in about a cup of brown sugar here. You want to mix that in quickly. And just before it starts to caramelize, we're going to add in our whiskey. And you want to be careful because this is going to flame up pretty high. So it's starting to, as you can see, starting to melt up and almost become a caramel. Very nice. We're going to add in our whiskey. Yeah, a little more whiskey. What's that going to hurt? And then get a little bit of a flame going. And as the flame is going, we're going to let all the alcohol burn off. And so what happens, you end up with this wonderful bourbon flavored dish with none of the alcohol in there. I know, you might want the alcohol, but you got to burn it off for the glaze. Once this is all burned off, we've burned off all the alcohol, we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to add in our butter and let that slowly melt into the dish after it's reduced. And you can see it's just cruising away, starting to get a little caramelization of the sugar in there. The alcohol is going away. You do have to be careful with, though, that's a very hot flame. Now, once we have this reduced and it's ready to go, we're going to take the salmon and we're going to place it onto just a lightly oiled sheet tray. And then we're going to baste the salmon with the glaze. We're going to put it in the oven, bring it out and baste it one more time with the glaze, and then that'll be finished. Still burning off the alcohol. Okay, as you can see, it's taken a couple minutes to burn off the alcohol, and now we've reduced the sauce down, and we're going to turn off the heat and allow it to just cool down for a few seconds, and then we're going to add in our butter and lightly incorporate that into the glaze. All right, throw the butter in there, and when you turn off the heat, that'll slow down the melting of the butter and will make for a really nice addition to the glaze. Just a touch of salt also helps bring out some of the caramelization flavors. Makes them nice and rich and buttery. You can see how that's starting to incorporate right into there. Almost all melted. Now we're going to season the salmon a little bit too right after it's been basted. And we're going to be very liberal with our baste here. We want to get it covering the salmon. So taking a basting brush, I'm going to come out and just cover that salmon, getting some of the shallots that are inside of it from the glaze on there. And this is going to caramelize around the salmon as well when it's in the oven. Make for a wonderful dish. Now a little bit of sea salt, of course, just a touch of pepper, and then it's time to throw them in the oven. Should take about 10 minutes at about 450 degrees. So we're going to throw them into the oven. We'll come back and get them in a little bit. All right, should be ready. Let's hit the oven. Oh yeah, beautiful. glaze. Very nice. I'll just lay that on the tray there. Might stick a little bit, so you got to use a nice strong spatula just to finalize. We'll just drizzle a little bit of that glaze right over the top there. Little garnish, and we're complete. Whiskey glazed king salmon.